Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, wildfires explode overnight as Hurricane Beryl takes a turn towards Texas and President Biden fights to keep his campaign alive. Overnight, Hurricane Beryl roars ashore, making landfall in Mexico just south of Cancun. As a Category 2 just moments ago, now the new track is Texas next. And new wildfires explode overnight, more than a dozen burning right now. Firefighters battling triple-digit temperatures on the front lines with more than 110 million Americans on alert for dangerous heat. Sam is tracking it all.
Fighting to keep his campaign alive. President Biden overnight vowing to stay in the race.
I'm not going anywhere. All right.
What he said about getting more sleep and avoiding events after 8 p.m. Now more Democratic lawmakers urging him to step aside, with all eyes on today's critical interview with our George Stephanopoulos. What's at stake?
Breaking overnight, an earthquake in British politics. What just happened and what it means for one of the U.S.'s key allies.
Danger in the water. A single shark attacking at least 4 people on a Texas beach.
Oh my gosh.
And right now, the new great white warning this holiday weekend for one of the country's biggest vacation spots.
Also overnight, a truck driving into a crowded New York City park, killing at least 3 people. What happened?
Could you spot someone drowning in the pool? A stunning demonstration you have to see. 4.5 minutes, still no parent noticed anything. Right. Does that surprise you? What happened next and the #1 piece of advice from the experts.
Campers to the rescue.
They saved my life for a fact.
A hiker badly injured on a trail in California, found by a group of teenage campers and their counselors, how they saved him and the moment they reunited.
It's really nice to see your face and see you smiling.
You'll see it for the first time on GMA this morning.
And meet the newest top dogs. The history-making moment at Nathan's hot dog eating contest. What she said right after. Plus the biggest holiday sales to relish right now. From summer gear to clothes and appliances. And the biggest trend to watch for.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And we say good morning, America, to all of you. Thanks for being with us. We hope you had a great 4th of July, and it is a very busy news morning.
It is. We have a lot to cover here this morning. Of course, all eyes on the president, President Biden right now. He and the First Lady hosted a 4th of July celebration at the White House last night. The president telling that crowd he is not leaving the race, and we are just hours away from his critical interview with our George Stephanopoulos.
A big interview ahead, and we're going to have more on that. But first, the breaking news this morning, Hurricane Beryl making landfall just moments ago. The track now turning towards Texas. Sam Champion, of course, has the latest here on this monster storm. Good morning, Sam. Beryl is really something.
Yeah, this is a tough storm, and we've got a lot of time with it left. Gio, good morning, everyone. So we're talking about one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, from Cancun all the way to Tulum, and we're watching a landfalling hurricane right now as you and I are talking. This is what the video looks like out of the area right now. I also want to show you, the only thing you're going to see if you're looking in Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Cozumel, is a lot of wind, rain, flooding. But I want to show you what 6 to 8 feet of water will do when it's up against the shoreline. That's wild ocean running over any pier, any shoreline, right into those towns, right into those hotel zones. That's what it looks like right there. So now here's the storm, and a couple things I want to show you out of this. So there's Tulum, there's Cozumel, there's Playa del Carmen, there's Cancun. They're all shoved in here together, and that storm is coming in right in there. If you look at the circulation right in that zone, that's exactly where we have the landfalling eye wall right now. Want to take that as it weakens off the Yucatan Peninsula. Will it strengthen in the Gulf? Yes, but right here. This is where the warm water temperature is. And my problem with that is it's right up against the coast of Texas. So with Texas, this could be 8 inches, up to 8 inches of rain, flash flooding all the way through. We're going to talk about this in great detail over the next couple of days.
Just unbelievable how strong this storm is, but you're also tracking the dangerous heat. You've got breaking news now on those fires in the west.
So last night, remember yesterday, we told you about that heat and how these fires would build. And last night, about 800 acres in a fire known as the French Fire in Central and Southern California. But there's also fires going on in Northern California, and let me show you why. So this brand new heat wave is building into this area here. This has been here for a couple couple of days, but it's going to go on for another week. When you look at these temperatures, remember, we've had 2 years of where we got out of the drought in California. We had this rainfall, we grew all this lush vegetation. Now we're dry again, and that is burning in this heat. I want to show you something that's incredible. I want to show you a record high temperature. Look at Las Vegas at 119 degrees. That's not a daily record. It's not a monthly record. It's the warmest Vegas has ever been if we hit that. Their warmest temperature has been 117 degrees. They've gotten close to that many times. They just haven't gotten over it. Now we're in the forecast with this heat wave to get 119 degrees. If this isn't making everyone go, wow, I don't know what does.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. And dangerous heat at that.
Yep.
Sam, we'll check back with you in just a bit. We do move now to the latest on President Biden, fighting to save his candidacy as he prepares to sit down in just hours with our George Stephanopoulos for his first television interview since that poor debate performance. Our senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang, has the latest. Selena, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. All eyes are on the president today, and I'm told that donors and allies are closely watching that interview with George as they decide whether to keep on supporting the president or not.
Overnight, the president and first lady hosting a July 4th celebration at the White House. The president reading remarks off a teleprompter, hitting central themes of his campaign and trying to quell panic within his own party 1 week after his disastrous debate.
We have to look at ourselves and ask the question, will we stand for freedom again? We stand for democracy. We stand together as Americans. I believe we will and we can.
Telling the cheering crowd he's not leaving the race.
I'm not going anywhere. All right.
But the president at times stumbling through his cleanup effort, like this radio interview in Philadelphia on Thursday.
By the way, I'm proud to be, as I said, the first vice president, first black woman to serve with a black president. I'm proud of the role of the first black woman in the Supreme Court. There's just so much that we can do because together there's nothing. Look, this is the United States of America.
And those concerns within the Democratic Party are growing.
It wasn't just one bad night. It was a bad night that may have locked in a really unfortunate narrative about President Biden's age and fitness.
Congressman Jared Golden questioning Biden's chances in an interview with a local Maine station.
I think if Joe Biden chooses to run, he's going to lose.
And now a third Democratic lawmaker, Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, urging Biden to step aside to let new leaders rise up and run against Donald Trump. Concern over the president's fitness for office reaching a fever pitch. Sources now tell ABC News that during a meeting with Democratic governors at the White House earlier this week, the president said he needs to get more sleep and work fewer hours, even suggesting he should end events at 8 p.m.
It wasn't a literal 8 o'clock. I will be doing things differently. It was more figurative.
But California Governor Gavin Newsom, while campaigning for Biden in battleground Michigan, defending the president, describing his stamina during their joint event in Los Angeles right after Biden returned from his European tour last month.
He barely slept. I was exhausted and got back in the hotel room and collapsed. So he did that with a smile on his face.
This is a make or break it moment for President Biden and Donald Trump. He's trying to take advantage of this chaos. He's calling for another debate anytime, anywhere. But guys, of course, they've already committed to a debate in September on ABC News. Whit.
All right, Selena Wang, thank you. Let's bring in Rachel Scott, who's been covering the campaigns for us. Rachel, good morning. Once again, a lot going on here as we wrap up the week. We've heard those growing concerns from Democrats about Biden's future, many of them worried about their own chances of re-election. So what now are they facing? There's a warning from the House Minority Leader for that.
Yeah, I'm told Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries has been very measured on this, but he has been very direct to his members who are voicing these concerns. And he has said, once you say it publicly, you can't go back. So really think this through. He is getting an earful. He is in listening mode right now, but he's hearing from his colleagues that are deeply concerned, calling on the president to step aside, calling on the Democratic leader to actually intervene. Jeffries, I am told, is asking his members to give the president space and time to make this decision. But I've heard from a number of Democratic lawmakers who say comments like the president made during that governor's meeting are not helping. And it's another reason why all eyes will be on this interview today with our very own George Stephanopoulos. They want to see the president perform well.
Yes, describing it as make or break. We're also learning about new threats from major Democratic donors.
Yeah, you have one major Democratic donor who is the co-founder of Netflix that's already calling on the president to step aside. But more than that, we are hearing from a handful of donors who are saying they will not give any more money to the president's campaign until he does. That is going to be very striking for the president because the money could just simply dry up here. In June, they did have their biggest fundraising month, but one Democratic donor did pen an op-ed saying that it's time to change the picture before they have a chance of losing the game.
It's been incredible to see these developments over the course of the last week. Rachel Scott, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And once again, a reminder, our George Stephanopoulos is sitting down with President Biden today in an exclusive one-on-one interview, the president's first television interview since that debate. The entire interview will then air tonight at 8 p.m. right here on ABC. Rebecca?
A critical conversation, Whit. Okay, we turn to overseas now, to a seismic change in British politics. James Longman is live from London with what this means for one of the U.S.'s most important allies and what comes next. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Rebecca. Britain is waking up to an historic election result this morning. The governing Conservative Party of Rishi Sunak has been defeated in a monumental landslide by the Labour Party, and its leader, Keir Starmer, is now the Prime Minister. He is meeting as we speak with King Charles at the palace as per protocol. The King will ask him to form a new government. He will go to Downing Street and stand outside that famous number 10 door to speak to the British people. He is 61 years old, a former public prosecutor. I think fair to say not seen as massively charismatic, but he's a stability candidate after 14 years of Conservative rule. And the story of this election is the scale of the Conservative defeat. They have never seen anything like this, not since 1830 when the party was founded. Some huge names in British politics have lost their seats, like the former Prime Minister Liz Truss. People in this country are angry with the Conservatives, angry at Tory infighting, angry at the way Brexit was handled, angry that public services seem to be on their knees, and angry at a spiralling cost of living. Keir Starmer has a massive mandate, but he's also got a massive challenge ahead. Gio?
A dramatic shift there in the UK. All right, James, thank you so much. And back here at home, we are learning more about what happened when a truck drove through a crowded park right here in New York City as many were celebrating the 4th of July, killing at least 3 people. ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the latest now. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. Was suspected going too fast, jumped the curb, and then plowed into these people gathered to celebrate the 4th of July. 3 people are dead, including a man and woman who appear to be related. 7 people are injured, including an 11-year-old boy who's now stable at the hospital. A woman was critically hurt. The driver is a 44-year-old man from New Jersey, driving a Ford F-150. Police say he sped through a stop sign, jumped the curb, crashed into the crowd. The truck was on top of people when police arrived. Some folks in the crowd held the driver until police came. He's now in the hospital. Police said he appeared heavily intoxicated. This happened about a week after another drunk driver crashed into a nail salon on Long Island, killing 4 there, including an off-duty cop. Rebecca, her wake is today. Rebecca.
Just too tragic, and thinking about all of those families. All right, Aaron, thank you. We turn now to the economy. All eyes are on the latest jobs report out this morning, and Elizabeth Schulze joins us now with a breakdown on all of it. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, Rebecca. And this jobs report reveals that employers are gradually slowing down their brisk pace of hiring. 206,000 jobs were added to the workforce in June. That's slightly above expectation, and it is fewer than the 218,000 new jobs in May. The majority of those job gains last month were in government and the healthcare sector. Now, it's really important to watch the unemployment rate, which did tick higher to 4.1%. Still an historically strong number, but that is now the highest level since November 2021. Now, this is a sign that employers are getting a little bit more cautious and selective. We are seeing companies prioritize prior work experience when they're looking at resumes, which is a challenge for new applicants in the workforce. If the jobs market does keep cooling, it could encourage the Federal Reserve to finally cut interest rates this fall. That would be much needed relief for borrowers who are trying to pay off their credit card debt or take out a new car or home loan. Whit?
All right, Elizabeth Schulze for us. Thank you. Now to the dramatic rescue of a hiker badly injured on a California trail, then saved by a group of teenage campers. We were able to reunite them for the first time, and Morgan Norwood is here with that story. Morgan, good morning. This was a special moment.
Yeah, so incredible and such a touching moment as well. That hiker says that he remembers reaching for his bear spray after being spooked by something on that trail in the middle of the night. He was found hours later, get this, slashed, bloodied, and shivering by a group of teens. And this morning, he's reuniting with those campers and thanking them for coming to his rescue.
This morning, a San Jose hiker crediting a group of teenage campers and their counselors for saving his life when they found him bloodied and injured along this Northern California trail.
If someone didn't find me, I would have bled out, and they saved my life for a fact.
34-year-old Shashank Upadhyayula still in a lot of pain, but now at home recovering, reuniting with those quick-thinking campers for the first time on GMA.
I honestly cannot express my gratitude to you all. Like, you guys came in like angels.
It's really nice to see your face and see you smiling. And I mean, the last time I saw you, you were under a tarp.
It's really nice to have the finality of you being all right.
Upadhyayula was on his first solo trek up the picturesque Lost Coast Trail last week when he says he was attacked by another hiker.
Something spooked me around 10 p.m. I pulled out my bear mace and my 2 knives. And that's the last thing I remember because I woke back up in the water.
A group of teenage campers and their 2 counselors had just started a 4-day backpacking trip when they say they stumbled upon him, realizing Upadhyayula was still in trouble.
It was pretty intense at the very beginning, but we all calmed down.
Got our med kit out and began to run through our wilderness first aid checklist of evaluating his wounds, talking to him, getting his name.
Counselors alerting officials at camp headquarters, who rushed to the scene with supplies. California Fire arriving at the scene about 90 minutes after that distress call. The local sheriff telling ABC News the case is still under investigation.
I was just very thankful that they were there. Like, all of you guys were there. It's just amazing, you know? All of you guys just came out of nowhere and just saved my life.
Just in the nick of time. And still a lot of questions about what actually happened to Shashank. Again, this case is still under investigation, but police don't believe there is an ongoing risk to the public in that area. But so glad they were there.
Absolutely. Yeah, good on those teens and their parents,
Yes.
by the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Morgan.